Okay, you guys. Tonight we went out to Brennan's Taekwondo. I got some pictures of that. And then after that we went out to dinner as a family and we sat and chatted for like 2 hours. It took almost an hour to get our food. It was crazy. And all we had was vegetable soup and cornbread. Crazy. Anyway, I think they were really low on staff. So we were very patient. We didn't complain, nothing. The lady was super sweet too. Anyway, so I'm driving home because we're all in different cars because we all had to go to from work to the, hold on, my son I think is trying to get a hold of me. Oh, okay, no, right, my son's coming. Okay, cool. Anyway, I pulled out of the driveway and I just barely turned right, and I was only going like maybe, I want to say 10 miles an hour, maybe 15, barely even got up speed, and the truck in front of me that had pulled out at the same time, he hit something, or almost hit something, he swerved, and then I saw what he hit. It was like something metal, and so I swerved, but I didn't swerve good enough because it got popped two of my tires. So now we are out in the cold, waiting for AAA to come. And it's like, this poor car, it just was in an accident, and this car was literally perfect. It was it was new, at least new for us. Anyway, so now let's look. It looks like this. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see if I'm gonna turn you around. Yeah, so flat. Alright, you can see it's flat. Flat. We tried blowing it up, it didn't work. This one's even worse, I think.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, because I hit this one first.
That one got slashed.
Yeah, this was the one I hit first, and that just came over. Anyway, yeah, not good. Not good.
Well, it says he'll be here in about 15 minutes.
Oh, let me call Ray and tell him not to.
Oh, we still got to go over.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'll go with him.
If you have to go to the restroom, you might want to go with him.
You just said that on my blog.
I'm sorry. If you have to go pee, where's potty better? Tinkle?
Tinkle. I have to take a wee. Yeah, I had all that tea and some water at the restaurant, and I'm still raspy, so I don't want to be out in the cold. So anyway, son's coming to pick me up, and then Too Cute for Cancer, Mr. Too Cute for Cancer, is going to follow the tow truck over to hopefully get it fixed in the morning, because this is our only car that we can drive anywhere at a distance, because our other car, the one standing behind me, my little Chevy here, is on its last leg, and it doesn't have, I don't know, I can't drive it at all. Ray won't let me, so that's how bad it is. So anyway, when it rains, it pours, you know? But it's just a car. It doesn't matter. Could have been Yep, praise the Lord anyway. Could have been an accident, so thank God for that. All right, you guys, I'll catch you later.
Whenever you're down, out in the cold, faithless and dark, your story's untold. Come take my hand and walk there with me. I know a place where we can be free. There is a light shining for you, guiding your way, helping you through. When shadows and gloom are all that you see, we'll find a place where we can be free. From the mountain top down to the deepest valley, hear a voice.
So I'm super excited. We just got home with all of my goodies because my sister Sherry, see, she bought a whole bunch of stuff for our housewarming present, and now she's helping me decorate and put it up. I'm not going to show you guys until it's all done though, because I want it to be like a Oh my gosh, it's so cool. All right, you guys, catch you later. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This is To Keep for Cancer, and my name is Jody, and I am living with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer that has metastasized to my bones. I have a main tumor on my spine between my L4 and 5. That's the lower spine, and then I have a tumor, a met on my right hip bone, my long bone, leg bone, and one of my sternum, a met on my sternum. And I have been living with these tumors pretty much in the same spot. They have kind of adjusted here and there. They've played peekaboo with the scans. For one whole year, I thought I was cancer-free or met-free. And then on my next scans, they played peekaboo and they were back in the same spot we left them. So I guess that's common with stage 4 mets. So anyway, that is where I am today. And today, I am in bed in my hospital bed. Not in a hospital, but in my hospital bed, because I sleep in a hospital bed because my spine, where the tumor is on the spine, I have to sleep, I have to keep moving. I can't keep pressure on it. So like, I sleep with my legs up and takes pressure off my spine. Then I put it down and then I turn over. I'm all over the place. It is a fun night. I feel so sorry for my husband who sleeps next to me in a hospital bed that we've pushed together to make one. That's actually a very sweet story that I think I'm going to go ahead and repeat since you guys have not heard it for a while. It was kind of a ways back. When I did a trial about 5 years ago, and I didn't do too good in it. I was really super sick, and they pretty much thought I was going to die right then. So they recommended that we get ready for hospice. So we bought this hospital bed, and we set up a room and had a TV and just made it all comfortable and stuff. However, with our regular bed in my bedroom, the hospital bed had to go into a separate room, which meant for the first time in 33 years, I wasn't able to sleep with my husband, and that was like awful. So what he did was he sold our huge queen size bed, and he bought a hospital bed the same size as mine, and then we put both of our beds back in our bedroom next to each other so that he could be next to me and we could be close. So that's the story of our 2 hospital beds, and I thought it was pretty cool. Now it's just a thing we do. People think we're probably wacko or something, or kinky. I don't know, but when I make the bed, I make it up all as one, and yeah, so there we have it. Bentley, what's wrong, bud? Come here, buddy. It is the mailman, because I can hear the neighbor chihuahua going yip yip, and then the next door neighbor, and then Bentley joins in, and then they leave and they stop barking, so he'll stop in a minute. Anyway, so today I am in this bed only because I have been doing so much since I had strep throat. And I was super, super sick for a couple weeks. And once I started feeling better, I had a list of things that I had to do, and I did them all. I got my nails done. Look at these pretty nails. Yeah. Haven't done my nails like this for so long. Made me feel so good. And then I went and got a facial. You know, got all the blackheads taken out and made my face all nice and smooth. Grocery shopping. Went shopping for more decorations, which I'm going to. I think I have a couple clips of that that I'll drop into this to this vlog. But they actually happened last week, but I didn't have enough room in the vlog to put them, so I'll put them this week so you can see. But anyway, just, you know, kept really busy and stuff. Then all of a sudden I started coughing again, from, you know, because I had a really bad cough and like chest cold from the strep throat. And no, it wasn't COVID. Tested 3 times. It was strep throat. I was convinced it was COVID. I kept saying, it's got to be COVID. It's got to be COVID. No, it was strep throat. But anyway, I've had this lingering cough. Well, it kind of went away. It went away enough to go out and about and not cough on everybody. But then last night, I woke up and I coughed all night long. I was so frustrated because I was so tired. All I wanted to do was sleep. But it was kind of a cough where everything was really loose and phlegmy. So I think that it was just all the phlegm, you know, trying to come out. Sorry, guys. TMI probably. Anyway, so I thought I would err on the side of caution today and watch TV from bed. I've been up and down. I did some wash and, you know, just did the bare necessities, but I didn't really, haven't done too much. Just trying to rest a little bit, just so I can get rid of the rest of this. Bentley, come here, buddy. That's a weird cough. That's a weird bark. Bentley. He's barking at the people next door. They're moving their trash cans out because it is also trash day. I'm going to get me a little bit of water. And here we go. Part 4 of my cancer journey. And this is the part 4 is the last part that will catch us all up. So we ended, let's see, today is Thursday. Today is Thursday. On Tuesday we ended with I was pregnant and 9 weeks pregnant, and I was stage 4 cancer. I had cancer, and I was in my 40s. I mean, I was 41, almost 42. So it was a huge surprise to us and stunned beyond words. I mean, we had tried forever to have a baby. We couldn't. We had 8 miscarriages. We had lost twins at birth. They came really early and they died in utero. They were stillborn. And then we said, forget it, we're not doing this anymore. We're just going to adopt. So I had 2 birth children and 2 children born from my heart. And after that time, I could physically get pregnant, but I just couldn't carry the babies. So we went on birth control, and I was on birth control for for like 17 years, I think it was. And then when I had cancer and went through chemotherapy and did all of that, I thought that I was going through menopause because my periods were sketchy, and then they stopped. So I thought, oh, it's just menopause, no big deal. So I stopped birth control. Dum. And, well, you know, what happens when you stop birth control and you have sex? you get a baby. And so I got a late stage baby, and we were just totally like not at all expecting it, but we laughed, we accepted it. And after the night that we had a sonogram that showed 9 weeks, we all the kids, my adult children and my granddaughter, who was just like 8 months at that time, we all went out to a dinner and we celebrated. Okay, so that's where I left off. And I'm so sorry Bentley won't shut up, but if I get up and tried to shut him up, he'll bark more. So hopefully he stops in a minute. Or I'm going to have to stop and start again. Ding dong dog. Anyway, so we kind of like were in the process of accepting. We started talking about, oh my gosh, well, we have 3 boys and 1 girl. Maybe we'll have another girl, and all the things that you start thinking about. But then we also, in the back of our minds, knew that with my history of not being able to carry a baby to term, there was that. Plus, I had cancer, and I had done all this chemotherapy and all this stuff. So I was extremely, extremely nervous about the whole thing. So we just took it to prayer, just like we do everything in life, and just took a beat and just kind of relaxed a little bit and decided to do nothing, just to trust God. And if he was going to give us this gift, then we were going to take it happily, and it was all in his hands. All right, well, we just kind of got to that point where I went into my second sonogram, and my husband was with me both times, and the doctor came in and did the external ultrasound, and then she stopped, and then she did the internal ultrasound, and then she stopped again, and she went out and got another doctor, came back in and said that, I'm so sorry, but all we see in the uterus, or in the uterus is blood, so meaning the baby, you're miscarrying. So they gave me a pill to kind of miscarry quicker, and it was horrible. It was the worst thing I've ever taken. Next time I'm gonna wait it out. But I was just so much in shock. I was just kind of like, I didn't really know. I didn't even care, Anyway, at the same time, the second doctor that came in kept looking with the ultrasound around on my belly. And I'm thinking, what are they looking for? The baby's already gone. It's dead. Why are they, what are they doing? I was just kind of like annoyed that they weren't done and out of there. Well, the one lady doctor, or PA, I think she was, said, well, we see something that's a little different, like a mass on top of your uterus. Not in the uterus, but on top of the uterus. And I was like, okay, and what could this be? I was like, I was kind of, confused what they were talking about. My mind was still on the baby, losing the baby, and they were moving on to something else. They were moving on to cancer. I just didn't know it at the time. So anyway, they said that I needed to go back to the oncologist, and I needed to get a full a scan of my belly, my stomach. So after I had miscarried and recuperated from the physical trauma of that and the emotional trauma and all that, I went back and I got scans done, and they found a mass, a large mass on top of my stomach, and it was moving into my large intestine. So what they wanted to do was to go in ASAP and do exploratory surgery, kind of, sort of. They knew it was cancer, but they weren't sure if the whole mass was cancer. They were kind of thrown because typically stage 4 metastatic breast cancer that goes to the bones doesn't usually, it goes through different routes, and my cancer had already kind of shown that it was going one route, and this tumor was showing it going the opposite direction. So, like the doctor said, not common, but not uncalled for, not impossible. Okay, so I went in for a very major surgery. They went in and they took the mass, and then they had to pull my stomach down because the mass was messing up my stomach and putting it in the wrong spot, I guess. So they took the mass out. They went through and they took half my intestines out. They just looked around, got anything that looked suspicious, got it out, and then they pulled my stomach down, and they took half of it, and then they wrapped it around and stapled it to itself so it would stay down. Actually, I think they stapled it to something else anyway to make it stay down. Anyway, so at that time I had to go through, I couldn't eat anything more by mouth other than a teaspoon of liquids or something really mushy, so I couldn't eat. So they had to do a feeding tube. And then after the feeding tube, then I could only eat like 2 teaspoons at a time, like every 4 hours. And it was just really, 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 really hard. I lost a tremendous amount of weight. I was about 117 when I went in for the surgery, which was my norm. And after it was said and done, and I kind of leveled out, I settled down at about 100, 101, or 102. So it took me a while to learn how to eat again. And I still have issues. I have a lot of bloating. I can't eat like a whole bunch at one time. I have to eat a little bit at a time. And when I do eat more than I should, like at one time, then I blow up and I'm in pain and it's just really bad. And then I end up not being able to eat for a couple of days before it clears out. Once it clears out, then I can start over again. So it's always kind of an issue, but over the years it has become easier and easier to eat and to get used to it. You know, my body adjusted and it was okay. And that was 13 years ago. Well, actually 12 years ago. So that was 12 years ago that I had that surgery. Well, then after I recuperated from that surgery, they said that they wanted to put me on a trial, have me go through a new trial that was going through City of Hope, and that it was stage 3 of the trial, the third part of the trial, which usually is a really good thing. You never want to get in on stage 1. That's when you're a total guinea pig. Stage 1 is like the vaccines that are out right now. We're stage 1. We're the guinea pigs because of the COVID, because of COVID. We are still in stage 1, and everyone who's getting the vaccines are in stage 1 of the testing. It takes like years and years before you get through. I think it's like 10 years before it gets through like the 4th stage. So in my cancer medicine, I was in stage 3. It was still safer than stage 1 and better than stage 1, but not as good as stage 4 would have been. But in my condition and stuff, I mean, stage 3 was better than no stage, than getting nothing at all. Okay, so I went through this whole regimen. It was chemotherapy, it was a mild dose of chemotherapy, and then there was immunotherapy, and then there was a targeted therapy. There was like, it was like a 3 different parts of different medications that were being rotated. So I would do chemo for like 6 weeks. I'd have 3 weeks off, and then I would do the targeted, and then I, it would rotate back around. And I did that for 2 years, and it kept me alive, obviously, because I'm still here, but it weakened my body big time. I mean, I went from pretty much being up and around and cleaning my own house and stuff to being in bed 90% of the time. It was not a, it was just, it was killing me, but it was killing me slower. Cancer probably would have got me faster, but the trial, was killing me slower. But in the, depending on how you look at it, it's like, well, you're still alive, so that's a good thing, yes. But the suffering and the damage that it did to my body during that time is irreparable. So, I still think at that time it was my best bet, and pretty much like my only, my only choice other than to do heavy duty chemo, which my body wasn't responding to. It wasn't working, so I was doing it for show basically, and it was no good. So anyway, so then I went back, and everything in my abdomen, everything was clear. No more spots, no more anything. I was doing really good for that. Went a couple times, and my tumor markers were up, but they weren't seeing any visible signs of any tumors. So it was kind of like waiting for the next foot to drop or shoe to drop. Is that it? So it was kind of, that's the way I lived for a couple more years. And then 5 years ago, I was starting to have a lot of pain in my spine, my bones. I just wasn't feeling right. I was running a fever constantly, but yet there was no infection. They couldn't find throat infection, ear infection, nothing, but I had a constant fever. So anyway, my scans showed that it had now moved into my bones, and it had started spreading, and it was in my bones. And they said that was actually a very good thing, because it could have, the other way it could have gone, the way it was going was intestines and then brain. And instead it went intestines, then bones. So it took a U-turn in its traditional way of going, and that's why I'm still alive today, I believe. So, yeah, and now for the last 5 years, I have had, it's like it started out with only the tumors in my spine, and then my hip, and then, it just, every time I go back, there's like another met splattered somewhere. But in the last 3 years, oh no, actually, no, I take it back, because the one on my sternum is a newer one. The one on my sternum is 2 years old. So from the last 2 years, I guess there hasn't been any new tumors that we know of. Everything is in its place and has not spread. So that is the best that we could hope for right now. Although at the beginning of this channel, or the end of this, or at the beginning of this channel, I had just came off a second trial that I had decided to try, and it was stage 1. And in my heart and my mind, I just didn't want to do it. I just felt like it was just, Bentley, come here, please. Stop barking. Ay, ay, ay. I came back and I felt like I shouldn't be doing. I knew in my heart this was a stupid thing to do, but I felt like I needed to be fighting. I needed to be proving to people I was still in the fight, and which was more of an emotional thing than a physical, because it, you know, I just felt like I had to be doing something. So I started the trial, and it was the kind you take home where you give yourself an injection and you take a pill every day. And then, so I thought, how hard could that be? It was the worst thing I had ever gone through. I was so sick, I couldn't stand it at all. I mean, I was in pain. I didn't even make it through the first 6 weeks of the trial, and I almost died. So, I was back to being completely bedridden. I was having problems with my heart because of the medications. My liver was inflamed. It was doing more damage than it was doing any possible good at all. So I said, forget it, I'm not going to do the rest of it. And the doctor agreed that it was a bad idea, that I would die if I kept doing it. So we stopped. And I did one immunotherapy targeted trial, but it wasn't for triple negative. It was meant for estrogen and progesterone positive cancers, but they had some success. They were kind of playing around with it, and so I did do that, and it didn't do anything. It wasn't. I think the only side effects was itching. I remember a lot of itching, and fatigue, but that there wasn't anything really big with that one. But it didn't do anything at all, so it was worthless. So 3 trials later, I was back to square one, and the doctor wanted to put me on more chemotherapy and hit it really hard with chemo, because he said if we can just keep those tumors in their spot and make sure they didn't spread, then that would give me more time. So at that point in time, I said, forget it. You know what? I'm going back to my little French doctor, my oncologist, or my French doctor from Paris, from France, actually. And I'm going to see what he has to say about this, because it's like, I don't know why I even ever stopped going to him the first time. I was doing so good, and then, I don't know, the doctors start telling you about how it's hogwash, that's not going to work, then you believe them, and anyway, so I went back to him, sat down, and said, this is the deal. And he said, I'm going to tell you the exact same thing I told you before. We're not going to kill your immune system. We are going to build it up. He says, people live with cancer in their bodies for sometimes 80 years. People die of cancer at 80, but the cancer has been in their bodies for all that time. He says, so what we're going to do is we are going to build up your immune system. We're going to flood your system with fruits and vegetables and good eating, and take away anything that has an inflammatory, anything that is, my camera's getting hot. Okay, so sorry about that. My camera got hot and it just started doing this weird thing, and then it went off. So not sure where we left off, but anyway, I think I left off where I was going to my holistic doctor, and he was explaining how to get my my body back in strength, back to strength again. So I did that, and we had already gone vegan, we had gone vegetarian 12 years ago, and then 8, coming up on 9 years, we went vegan, tried to go vegan, kind of a 90-10, and that was the first thing he told us to do. The second thing was he gave supplements. He's the one that got me on all the supplements and stuff, and nutrients, and getting the nutrients in any way, shape, or form, getting them in your body. And then a watch and see. And that is what I've been doing for the last 4 years, almost 5 years now. We've been doing Watch and See. Except for, I did do Zometa. I did that up until COVID. I did Zometa, and then they canceled the Zometa. They wouldn't let us do it all through COVID. Took a year. I came back and I did it one time, and it made me so incredibly sick. I got so sick, and the side effects were so bad, I could not stand it anymore. My bones hurt so bad because of the bone. I already had bone cancer, and then they're putting this bone stuff in me that literally is acid that eats up the bones inside and then makes it rebuild. That's how Zometa works. And it was not a happy camper in my body. It was making my white cells go up. It was doing everything that it wasn't supposed to be doing. And so doctor and I agreed, oncologist and I agreed and said no, not doing Zometa. So now I go, the only problem I've had up until this last year has been my red blood count is ever since chemotherapy and the first trial, I have not been able to keep my red blood cells up, and I've had to have blood transfusions. But since I've been eating right and getting my crap together that way, I have not had to have a blood transfusion in over a year now. Over a year? It's been a year. At least a year, maybe more. So that's where I am right now. And I'm here taking it day by day. I know that any time that my tumors could start growing, I know at any time that it could hit my brain, and a couple times we've had a couple scares where I've had some shadows on my brains. I was having headaches, and then I had a seizure, which was a diabetic seizure, not caused from any meds or anything, but they didn't know that, so they checked all that out. So I get my labs done, I get my scans done, and I go to the holistic doctor, and that's all. And I'm doing this channel because I want you guys to know that people always think there's cancer, you beat it or you die. That's not it. Sometimes you fight it, sometimes you let it rest, and sometimes you heal, and sometimes there is no winning with cancer. Sometimes I will die with cancer, but maybe I'll die an old lady. I don't know. Maybe I'll die a heart attack. I don't know. Maybe I'll fall off the steps and hit my head. I don't know. But statistics say that, of course, it'll be cancer. But you know what? We'll just wait and see about that. So my job now is my heart is just to encourage other people to do the very best with what they can. And I know it's depressing, and I know it's hard. I fight every single day to put a smile on my face and get out of bed. It is a dark cloud that will always be over me, and the pain it's real. It's not fun, and some days I don't want to fight it. Some days I just want to curl up and say, get away. And some days I say, no. I'm going to win this day. I'm going to get my butt out of bed. I'm going to do what I need to do. So, it's a battle. It's a battle of the mind. So, anyway, that was the end of my cancer story. Not the end, but the fourth part, at least from beginning to current. So, if you have not been following my story, and you would like to follow my story, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and see where my journey takes me. And I am here for you guys, the same as you guys are here for me. We have a great YouTube family that I love dearly. They keep me going every day. Without them, I don't think I would be out of bed at all. So let's help each other out. Let's encourage each other, and hit the subscribe button if you're interested in that. All right, I think that's it. Oh, I was going to give you an update on my BioFit. All right, It's been 2 weeks since I stopped the BioFit because of having strep throat. And I haven't lost a pound. I haven't gained, though. That's the best part. I mean, I have been sick. I have been, like, eating probably more than I normally would eat. And I haven't lost a pound, but I have not gained any of the 24 pounds back. So that's pretty doggone good. Now, tomorrow, I am going to start on, it's called Bio Melt. It has all the same ingredients that BioFit has, without the cheesy, stupid commercial, but it has all of the different fruits and stuff that you can't just go buy at the grocery store, has it in the Bio Melt, and it's supposed to curb your appetite. So I'm gonna try it. It's called Bio Melt, and I'm gonna take my first one tomorrow morning. I was supposed to take it today, but I forgot. So I'm going to take it tomorrow and see what the deal is with that. But it's got like acacia berries. It's not acacia. It's acai berries. I said it. And it has all these different really cool nutrients in it. So I'm anxious to get those in my body. So there you have it. Nothing else is new. I will link everything that you've seen in my video. Of course, not today, because I haven't seen anything good today. But I will link all of my living room furniture. I had a couple people ask me where I got my chairs. I'll link that in the description box below. And I will see you guys on Sunday with a brand new Too Cute for Cancer. Too Cute for Cancer. I always forget to do it. Too Cute for Cancer signing off.
Whenever you're down, out in the cold, faithless and dark, your story's untold. Come take my hand and walk there with me.